All right.
So let's get started. So this is our Accountant Connect deep dive with
Woohoo!
and we're really excited. You guys know us. We don't even have to introduce ourselves anymore. We know all our friends. But I'll
Well,
just say I'm Heather Satterley in case you haven't met me. And I love QuickBooks and ADP and technology and accounting.
so I think that most of our friends do know us, but I will share for both of us that we both
Okay.
have firms that work with small businesses, and we have these clients that we absolutely love, and they have apps. And that is the whole reason that we get together in Appy Hours. We talk about apps and our experience with them and how best to share the things that we've learned along the ways that are bumps and then also victories. And so hopefully our experiences are something that you can also learn from. And that way you don't have to scrape your knees as many times as Heather and I have.
Exactly. No, that's
Mhm.
exactly right. We wanted to share our love of accounting technology and automation with the rest of you guys. And there was a need for it. Like we
And
need to
it's
be
not
talking
going
about
anywhere.
this. Nope. We need to be talking about this. And we're super excited to have Jennifer back with us this week. So
Hello, I'm very happy to be back. Thanks for having me again.
we had so much fun last week. So we're going to have even more fun this
We're
week.
going to do it again.
I think I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe that we're running at time because we're having such a good time talking about payroll. Who does that?
Can you believe it? Mind blowing, right?
Right?
We
So
do. We do.
yeah, I agree. I mean, like if you make things easier, then of course you're going to have more fun. It's whenever you start feeling like you're going to pull your hair out that sucks the fun out of life.
Yes,
So,
1000%.
so we're thankful that you have made payroll ADP very much easier for us
Awesome.
and our clients.
I'm closing windows because it says that the stream is a bit choppy today. So hopefully that helped a little bit. But we hear you, Michael, and hopefully it'll get better for you. All right. So we also have, not to let the cat out of the bag, but I think we already did. So joining us a little bit later today, we're going to have the legendary Dawn Brolin joining us. And she's going to talk. She also is an ADP partner and also uses ADP in her firm. And she is going to share her insights with us. And then she's also going to talk a little bit about her new book. She wrote a book and it's really awesome. I read it and I loved it. I mean, how could you not love a book that was written by Dawn Brolin?
Right? Yep.
Like,
Yep.
how
She's
would
got so
that,
much to say. That megaphone is
exactly.
awesome. Like that's her.
And it's all her. Like you're reading it, and if you know Dawn, it's like, oh, it's a great, great, great book. So, very excited to hear about that. So thank you to our partners at ADP. They're our champagne level sponsor. Oh my gosh, we've had so much fun this year. We're going to have so much more fun. Now that we're actually going to be able to start getting together in person too. That's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you for helping us
Making
bring
this year
this.
possible.
Yes, and for helping us
Mhm.
bring this amazing content to the accountant community. So this is our agenda for today. We're going to start out with our welcome, which we just did. So that's done. Check that off. We're going to go through the Accountant Connect
We're
overview.
such list people. Like
Right, we
check.
are.
You literally said it. Check.
We're going to do the Accountant Connect overview. We're going to go over the reporting and general ledger integration. Then we're going to take a look at the digital client onboarding, which is a brand new feature which allows the accounting pros to actually onboard their clients. So no longer do you have to reach out if you choose. You can still reach out to, to your rep to set it up for you. But if you want to do it yourself, you can. We're going to go over the analysis tools and practice management resources, the Walter Kluwer CCH resource library, and then we're going to talk about our next episode. And somewhere in there, we're going to have Dawn Brolin join us. So super excited. So let's get started. So Accountant Connect, we talked a little bit about it last week, and I think I challenged everybody to go sign up for it. And that is going to bring me to my poll. I'm going to do a poll, and we'll do this one first, and it is about Accountant Connect. So I'm going to launch this poll. and just find out what feature in Accountant Connect are you most interested in learning about today. Is it the client onboarding? Is the GL integration with QuickBooks, compensation
Oh my,
benchmarking, COVID tax resources, or do you just want to learn about all of it?
oh my gosh, I love watching this live.
Me
Yeah.
too.
So,
Great question.
this is a great question. And watching the answers come in,
Yeah.
that's funny because COVID resources, there for a while, that was the thing that was driving a bunch of us, is that we needed all of those. And not that we don't need those still, but thank goodness, just a little bit of a smidge of that is in our rearview mirror.
Yeah.
There's still pieces of that we have to deal with, but thank goodness that some of that is now behind us.
Yeah.
I can breathe.
Right. Right. No, for sure. I'm going to count everybody down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And interesting, I'm going to show these results. Interesting. So there's 47% said all of it. They want to learn all of it. Yes. And then the close second was the GL integration with QuickBooks. 19% said that new client onboarding. 3% compensation said compensation benchmarking, but wait until you see the compensation benchmarking and you may be like, wow. And then the COVID tax resources, you're right. There was only one person that was like, I need these. So I think people are over it.
Literally.
You're right, Liz.
So that GL integration, oh my gosh, isn't that funny that we get so excited about our mapping and being able to have control over it? Like, it makes me want to dance. It's crazy, but I mean, being able to make this life easy is, it makes it where we can handle a lot of our clients and focus on other areas instead of struggling. So,
yeah. So what is Accountant Connect? Accountant Connect it's a cloud-based portal, and that allows you access to all of your clients that use ADP Run and Workforce Now. So when you log in, as you can see, and I'm going to actually go into the portal here if I can find it. Nope, that's not it. It's right here, and I have to sign in again. So just give me a second to do that.
It's very secure.
It's very secure. Hold on. Let me.
But I love this dashboard, and I love the concept of being able to go and look at all of our clients and flip back and forth as necessary, because that's our real life. Is we will do part of something for one client, and then we have a little bit of a holdup, so we need to go and do something else for a different client. So it's really nice to be able to have a place where we've got our dashboard to be able to see all of our clients.
Just going to clear my cache and see if that helps.
Get rid of all those cache and cookies.
Yeah. This happened to me the other day. And then let's go see if that works.
It's got a really clean browser bookmark right there.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go into another browser. I'm going to go into incognito. When in doubt, incognito, right?
Yes.
I'm learning something new with this.
It's funny because I have a client that their motto is, when in doubt, delete it out. Yours was much better than what they say.
Yeah, it's for some reason it doesn't want to let me in. Liz, you may have to do this because it's being mean to me.
Okay, so while you have that up, let me see if I can get it up, because I want to test it.
I'm going to try one more. I'm going to just try a different browser and see if that helps. So sorry, everybody.
It was just working too, wasn't it?
No, it was. I definitely was in there. So it's me. It's not you. Come on. And my computer honestly has been really, really, really difficult. It's been weird. So see how it's just not, I think it's my computer. I really do.
Responding.
It's just not responding. I think I had an issue with it earlier. So Liz, the good news is that you have the ability to demo it. And so I'm going to stop sharing and
okay.
You're going to
don't stop sharing just yet. Oh, okay. Well, go ahead. Because mine's just spinning. So yeah, I'm not really sure why there, but
Let's see
I
if we
can.
can.
I was just in. Are you able to get in?
Let me see.
I could always go back to slides too, if we
And I
need
can
to.
take you guys into our demo if that's easier.
Why don't you do that? I'm
This
sorry.
moment, yeah, I think that would be great.
It's not cooperating with me today.
Yep, I've got it. I have got it.
All right, so why don't you go ahead and share your screen?
Voila.
Thank you.
You guys see it now,
Fantastic.
hopefully?
All right, so you can drive.
There we go.
All right. See, teamwork. Teamwork.
Yes, teamwork makes this. I was here for a reason, right?
That's right.
Bringing value. Yes, yes. So if you guys, I can definitely give a high level overview, but you had mentioned it, it's a great place to access client reporting, client insights, all kinds of great information. And there's a ton of resources that I know we're going to do a deeper dive into throughout our conversation today. But overall, again, like you have the access to run payroll, run reports, etc. So I'll let you ladies kind of drive and let me know like what you like best and what you were going to touch on first. I don't want to hijack your meeting or the call.
Oh, not at all. No. So I mean, where I was going to start out was just showing what the that you can see your client list there. And what I was going to start out with was just showing that you see your client list and you can access all of the reports. So maybe we could show people where we can go to the reports and forms in Amy's Pizza and show them where they can see all of the information about Amy's Pizza. And this has actually been updated over the past year to really give us a lot of information about our clients. So we have the notifications that are information that's coming from ADP Run to let us know when there's action items that need to be taken. We also have the payroll trend. So it's showing us the volume, the dollar volume of the taxes and the payroll check. So what is the cash that's coming out? So we can easily monitor if there's a big swing in, an uptick in that value on a client's payroll and we're not expecting that. That could be a conversation that we have with the client, or even the other way around. I mean, this is information that could help us start to kind of talk about things with our clients. Say, hey, what's going on? Are you growing? What do we need to have conversations? And then it also is telling us across the middle, it's telling us what services the client is signed up for with ADP. So we can see this Amy's Pizza is signed up for the human resources services, the time, workers' compensation, and retirement, but they're not doing the group health insurance through ADP. So what that tells us is, what we know they're already using. So say this is a new client, would say, well, they're already using all these. Why aren't they using group health insurance? Is that an opportunity for us? Is that a discussion that we need to have with them? So it's giving us a lot of really great information, about the client, even if it's a new client that we're just connecting to our run. And it's super easy to add a new client. We'll go over that in a minute. The other, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, the other thing that's here is that sometimes whenever I'm working with clients that are out of state, I go, what state are they in? And so even here, you can see at a high level, because every single state has some different payroll submission requirements, local taxes. And so that's really nice. And, being able to even click on that other tab right there, reports, taxes, and forms, we've got some of our information right here, easy to access. So thank you for clicking on that, because that's oftentimes where I have to go in for an audit, maybe pull some different reports, and it's nice to have them handy.
It sure is. It sure is. And can we just kind of open up some of these tabs here?
We sure can.
Awesome, Jennifer. Like let's look at the CARES. I think a lot of people are going to be interested in that CARES SBA Paycheck Protection Program and some of the reports that they can run that you need. These reports are already configured for you. So when you're helping to calculate that monthly payroll cost, it's not something where you have to export the information from ADP and create the report that's going to give you the numbers. They're right there. And so this is a huge time saver for us as practitioners as we're dealing with that right now. So for that one person that was really excited about COVID resources, so here's some of that you're seeing right here inside Accountant Connect. With the payroll reports, which if we want to close that tab, and we can go to the payroll reports. Oh no, just the tab. You can go back into the report. Sorry.
We're getting back in.
Sorry.
I'm not used to all these things on my screen with Zoom,
Right.
so bear with me, y'all. Okay, here we go.
Of course. Yeah. So, and actually you don't even need to open these up right now. But what I was going to point out is that you can select, when you're running these reports and you find the reports that you use for your work papers every month or every quarter when you're doing those payroll reconciliations to the general ledger, what we do is we can create, basically schedule them to be recurring reports. So over on the right where you see select frequency, you just go through and select the reports that you want to add to that package. And then you go through and you select the recurring, select the frequency. So every month, quarter close or year end, and it's going to run automatically for you. So they'll just be waiting for you when you go in. The other thing
that's nice too. Like that was a big thing. I was responding to one of our friends, but I got really excited about what you just showed, because being able to have that frequency to be able to pull a lot of these reports, sometimes those clients have special needs, and saying that you have some customized reports that are necessary, and then you can also have them recurring is awesome.
It is awesome. And over on where it says number 1, I kind of went out of order there where it says select clients. The other thing to notice is, you can view all your clients. So I could actually create these recurring schedules for multiple clients at once.
I love that you shared that, because that's the thing that's really cool, because you can have different reports that you need to see. And so you could actually launch these and have them automatically available. So that's a big deal.
If you look up where it says generate, we're generating the reports. If you look at queue, and I don't, if you look up at that queue, what that does is it shows you how many reports are actually in the queue that have already been run. So if they're on a schedule, that's where they're going to be. So you can download them. And then if you click on the schedules, I think that's a summary of the schedule. And yes, you can print and download and view. Yep. And then if you view the schedules, this is the actual schedules that you've set up. So you're able to view all the clients that have had a schedule assigned to them. So, as a firm administrator, right, this is important, because if you're going in and kind of making sure that your processes are set up, you can make sure that all the clients have been set up properly, which is nice. It's been really just, Accountant Connect has just really, really been thought out really, really well. And the way.
Well, it's that feedback that we've been giving, and they keep listening to us and providing all of those resources that we've been asking for. That's been going on. I know since at least 3-4 years that there has been this ear to the ground asking for feedback. And so I think that's why it looks so awesome, is that we've all had input.
It's all Heather and Liz. We give you guys credit. No, it was definitely thought up by accountants. So we took your guys' feedback before even building it. And then as we add features to it, make changes, updates, it's all feedback from you guys. So we appreciate it. And now it's
and that's us as a whole.
As a whole, yes, all of our partners.
The community.
I think we're up to 60,000 users now on Account Connect, which is awesome. So 38,000 have at least one client linked.
That's huge.
So a lot of users for sure.
It's fantastic.
Nice.
Let's go back.
So
I want to go back into the client list. So we can click on that client list again. And you can notice that when we clicked on Amy's Pizza, it showed us the reports and tax forms in the general ledger. I think what I'd like to do is go through and show the general ledger connection, because I think people are really excited about that. Was the number one thing. So that is where you're setting up the integration to QuickBooks and Xero. And there's a whole bunch of other accounting packages that ADP general ledger actually syncs with. So what you would do is when you're first setting up, you would select your accounting software, and you can see it's not just QBO. It works with QuickBooks Desktop. It works with Xero. It works with Sage 50. It works with Creative Solutions. It creates Microsoft Office accounting. Does anybody actually use Microsoft Office accounting? They must if you guys built a bridge to it, but I don't think I know anyone that uses that, but I don't know. But we're all QBO. Most of us are QBO. I can't say we're all. Somebody on this call is like, I'm not QBO, I'm Xero. And that's great. But we'll just go with QBO. And then you would connect to QuickBooks. And then you would go through your OAuth authorization, which we've all done that when we've connected an app. You would click continue. And then what's going to happen is it's going to import the chart of accounts from QuickBooks Online. And then what you can do is you can review the chart of accounts, or you can import it again. Like, and you do need, can you go back to the previous screen?
For sure.
Yeah. So where it says review, you could review it, or you can import again. And you will need to do that if your client adds a new general ledger account. So this is something, so there is like a maintenance portion of this. After, you know, when we first set this up, that's great and it works amazing. But one of the cool things is if they add a new account and they try to run the sync to QuickBooks, then you'll get a notification saying that, hey, there's a new account, you need to go back in and remap. And so you'll come in here, you'll import the chart of accounts again, and then you'll click next. And then what you'll do first,
Great tip.
yeah, then you'll go ahead and map the chart of the accounts for the company. So you'll click start. And then this is where you're going to map the different payroll items, which are on your left, to the accounts in your QuickBooks Online company. So now that the chart of accounts has come into Accountant Connect and to the general ledger, you can go through with each one of these items and select the appropriate account. So we'll go ahead and select that Chase checking account, and then maybe for regular, we can select earnings. You get the idea. And it'll pre-fill it, but you can go through and select whatever you want. And then when you're done, you're just going to click save.
Get to that.
And so you have complete control over which accounts are being, mapped to the different payroll items inside. Let's take a look at map chart of accounts by department or employee. So this is where we're talking about classes and your employees in QuickBooks Online. So in some cases, we have clients that need to allocate their payroll by class. And in other cases, they want to allocate by employee because each employee's payroll actually gets mapped to a different chart of account, right? So maybe they're in, you're keeping track of the type of wages that are being paid in different parts of the organization, like sales wages, operations wages, admin wages. And so you have the flexibility to do both here. So you can do, you can go ahead and you can see here we have the department sales. We would go through and map to the different accounts for sales. And then, if we were doing it by employee, then, you would do it by each team member.
Let's see if I can get back to that point here. Close out of this.
Yeah, and then go to the employee.
There you go.
And this is really easy because it'll keep your defaults. So if you scroll up to the top, the other thing I like is it's really easy to navigate. So you see those arrows, not errors, next to Emma Smith. When I click on those, it's going to automatically advance to the next employee. So it's really easy. It makes it quicker to configure it. And it will apply, like once you do a mapping, it'll apply it to everybody, and then you will just need to update. So that makes it easy too, because some of them will go to all the same accounts for every employee, and then you just need to change maybe the wages, the regular overtime, stuff like that for individual employees. So it's super, it's super simple, but it also gives you the complexity that you need to make sure that all of the amounts every time there's a payroll sync to QuickBooks are going to the right general ledger account. And what that does is that makes your reconciliation to the payroll tax forms and to the payroll reports, kind of non-existent. They're easy. It's like you look at the report, you look at QuickBooks, you're like, oh, we're done. We don't have to think about it anymore. And that can actually be a really time-consuming and complicated process for firms when you're having to do that manually and create spreadsheets and things to tie out the different accounts. Is that our friend?
There she
It
is.
is our friend. Okay,
Yay!
look at her shirt. She even came dressed appropriately.
Because I can't see her.
Let me stop sharing here for a second. We do pause.
Well,
No,
here,
she is connected to audio.
There we go.
There she is.
Hey. Hi, friend. How are you? Can you hear us yet?
She's getting there.
Well, So, okay, while that's happening, there was a couple of questions that happened in chat, so I'm going to answer them. One of the questions was,
Okay.
do you map per employee? And the answer to that is you can. So you could have a default mapping that's just going to say it's all wages. So I think that was one of the questions there. And then it was like what you were saying, Heather, if you wanted to have a group of employees that were considered admin, then that group you could then say one by one, yes, I'm going to put them to my admin wages or craftsman or whatever it is that you've
Right.
got. So,
And that's kind of the departments. I should clarify that, because the departments are actually set up in the payroll setup in ADP Run.
Yep.
So what would happen is on their end, they would say these 5 employees are sales, these 5 employees are admin, and then you're mapping that entire department, so that entire group of employees based on the department to the general ledger, right? Rather than going through one by one with the employees. So for smaller companies, I do it by employee, right? For larger companies, I do it by department.
hey, I think that we might have audio.
Do we have Dawn now?
Yay!
Yay!
Welcome to the party.
Thank you for letting me participate in your fun.
Let the party begin. Where's the confetti?
Dawn, I love your
go.
shirt too. She's
That's what
representing.
Everybody says Brolin is in the room, right? So they all say,
That's right.
Brolin is ready to rollin'.
Ready?
If I could do a somersault, I would have rolled in, but I would hurt myself, I'm
Oh
sure.
my gosh. Okay, so I have to tell you, there was a night that my neighbor and I adore her. So she's a nurse. And one time we decided that we would try to go ahead and do our somersaults. Not a great idea. I mean, there was a little bit of liquid courage in that. So what happened is my friend's eye, her blood vessels popped because her body wasn't used to her being upside down.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not doing that.
Not today.
Not today, at least. Not today.
Not today.
Oh my goodness.
What's up with you? How are you?
I'm like jacked up. Like, I know that's abnormal. I'm usually fairly calm and I just like kind of like roll with the punches, but I'm out there just swinging. I'm ready. I'm just so excited about like what you guys are doing, what we are all doing for the community of accounting, including our, most importantly, our clients, of course. But Jen, it's good to see you as
Good to
always.
see you too. Yes. Glad you were able to join.
Oh, are you kidding? I was told I couldn't come till 4:30. So that's why I'm here at 4:30. They were like, don't show up till 4:30, Brolin. I'm like, okay, boss. But I'm just like so excited to be here. And of course, ADP is one of my favorite conversations. So this was easy.
Well, you showed up with a shirt. So you can hear us, but we were like, look at the shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. I just represent, I have 2 of them. So.
And they're soft. They're nice shirts too, aren't they?
I wear them at least once a week. I wear this shirt.
Love to hear it.
Yeah. So no, I've actually been really excited. I was just actually in today looking up some PPP loan forgiveness stuff in ADP
Nice.
for a client, which made it so easy. But it's so great. Yeah. So I was able to do that. But then when I was in there, I popped into well, of course I use the Accountant Connect, application. Number one, the new look is so cool.
Yes. Yes. I'm glad you like it.
Did that get launched last week?
Yes.
Okay. Because I logged in and I was like, pretty. Like,
yes. And the same refresh for our clients too, when they log into the Run platform. So same look and feel.
Super psyched. But then I always pop into the question mark, and the question mark is probably my favorite part because I can click in there. I can upload a notice, which by the way, no matter who you are, from payroll company to an individual preparer to whatever, you're going to get notices. Okay. And that's something I had to accept as a practitioner, is like, wait a minute, I handed over all this payroll. So what the heck? Why are we getting notices still? But really, the governmental agencies, you know what? Guess what? I know people probably didn't know this, and hopefully they're not listening, even though they probably are. The government screws up a lot. They just do, right? So like, it took me a while to like accept that. But then what I love is, when you send a notice to ADP through that question mark in the Accountant Connect Center, it doesn't get lost out in space, right? So you actually can track it, right? Which is super cool, because I know with other solutions, you send in a notice and it's in the abyss. And then you're like, you don't ever get to connect with anybody. And so that's, again, Accountant Connect, good reason. So you're connecting directly with their support. And so like, I just don't want to do payroll. I don't want to do it. And some people do, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And I did payroll back in the day, but it's like, there's already so much compliance in tax work or sales tax, or even just the write-up work that we do is not necessarily compliant, but that's just so much more important than pushing hours into a payroll system. So.
Well, I agree. I'm not a good button pusher. And so it gives me a lot of anxiety if I don't push the button on time. And what I'm thinking in my head, if I've missed that button, is that, oh my gosh, somebody's not going to have groceries. And so that gives me a lot of anxiety. So I'd rather empower the client to know how to do it, or empower the team to know how to do it. And an easy platform, yay.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
So we were in the middle of a demo of Accountant Connect. Can you help us with that?
I'm in.
John? Awesome.
Oh, woo, love it.
Oh,
All right. Fantastic.
Jen's got it pulled up.
Do you want me to share my screen again? Let's see
Yes.
here.
Oh, I think that was going great. That was awesome.
All right.
And we were just showing the mapping. We were showing the general ledger mapping, and we were almost done.
I was just doing that the other day. We do that for all of our restaurants for front and back of the house, so we can map. Go ahead. I will stop talking.
No, you can totally, you can walk through the demo if you want, Dawn. We're totally down.
We're almost there, as you can see up on the screen here.
Well, I think what's interesting, what I've learned through doing it is the company summary. Like I don't want the employee detail and for no reason for the most part, but yeah, company summary, go ahead.
Company summary. All right, let's go finish.
And what happens when you say do not validate, right? So if you don't send the summary over and you send the employees over, if it doesn't match to the employee record in QuickBooks, you're going to get an error, or it's going to create a whole bunch of new employees. So you want to make sure that you use that do not validate button. That's just a tip.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then we had a question. Who was it up there? Karen said, well, how do you get the payroll information into QuickBooks? Well, this is how you get the payroll information into QuickBooks. So after you run a payroll, and you can automate this. You can automate this by turning it on and saying, after I'm done with the payroll, just post it. But what you can do is you can come in here and manually do it. So as soon as you've run the payroll, you can go in and then select send data to your accounting software. If for any reason it doesn't post, and if it doesn't post, it's going to say you have an error. And the most common reason is that you're sending employee information over as the detail, like Dawn just said, she does summary. If you're sending it over to the name and the name doesn't exist, it'll give you an error. Or if you added a new general ledger account, you're going to get an error. So what you do then is you just go back through that little setup button up the top, and you re-import the chart of accounts, and then you have to go through and map to the new employee or the new account, and then you can select that actions button again and resend it. So it's very easy to maintain. And, every once in a while we'll have a client that adds something to QuickBooks and doesn't tell us, and we'll get that error, and it's really simple to go in and fix it.
Yeah, one other little tip too that I find when I'm doing my first import, I'm doing my first thing. So I'll go through and use that one first import, because, we had a client that came to us, they were already on ADP, but they were not mapping yet. So we had to remap all of 2020. So when we did it, we took that first, and of course they were posting net checks, net everything, and it had already been reconciled, by the way. So we had to go back in, but because we imported it, did the first one and made sure everything. Okay, here's a tip: look at your balance sheet and look at your P&L when you import it, so that you can see if the import's showing up correctly. Like for instance, with this restaurant, the general. The company accounts, the standard is set up one way, but you've got to go into each employee if they're front of the house or back of the house and change it. So we would know if when we added an employee or did something like that, if we imported it right. But it was because we looked at the P&L and the balance sheet, because sometimes ADP, if it doesn't recognize an account, it'll create a bank account. And you're like, what's that bank account for? It doesn't belong there. It's because you've not mapped something properly. Right. So that's just super important. I'm finding that I know even with my staff, sometimes I'm like, the next time you don't look at a balance sheet or a P&L, I'm going to pound you out. We're going to have a pound. Like, that's like,
I can see you saying that.
I know, just importing data does not mean it's imported correctly. So people, look at your reports.
That's right. Garbage in, garbage out. right?
And I love that it comes in a journal entry because you can just delete it and re-import it. So
You can. It's super easy.
yeah, so you notice here where it says posted. If it says posted, you still can go to the action button and download at the top. It'll be a new GL file. So if you hit actions, yep.
See if I can do this. It's a demo, so it's not
Oh,
as
that's fine.
interactive as if
That's
you have the phone
okay.
open. So we
Yeah.
need to conceptually walk through it.
So that's what you would do. You would go to the little action button and there would be a drop down and there'd be two selections. One is to import the file the same as you did before. You had something wrong. Don't choose that one. The one on the top is a brand new file that has the refreshed mapping and everything like that. So that's how you would re-import if you had an error.
100%. So that is in a nutshell, that is the general ledger. So let's move on to some of the other amazing features inside Accountant Connect.
You know, the only thing that
Oh.
I would add to that is, and we don't have to, we can be in transition, but the thing that I would add to that is, you know, there's a lot of reasons why clients don't always want all of their data in one place. And so, you know, there's sometimes competition with payroll. So it's nice that you've got these summaries that you can import. It's nice that it's separate. And so I'm a big fan that there's a lot of times that I have clients that they really value being able to have those summaries import instead of the individual team members.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm gonna pause my share for a second because you know when it's the top of your screen, you can't quite get to it when you're sharing.
Right.
Like
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
right there, like wrestling with it. Like we're gonna pull it down for a hot second here.
That's awesome.
And we'll get it started back up again. I couldn't quite get to it to get back to my other screen. So I'm
No
here.
worries.
Yes.
Don, you have a ball behind you. What's the story there?
This is from my book, The Designated Motivator. And this is an actual game ball that I stole, to be honest. I took it out of the bag, but see what happens at the beginning of a national championship, you get a couple of balls to warm up with. So they're giving us ball and I'm always in charge of getting the ball to the pitcher. Well, we didn't use the ball and it was in the bag. And so that just ended up in my bag. But this is from the 2019 coming in third place in the country softball, where the year before they were less than 500. They were not making it happen. In 2019, Designated Motivator came in, loved on those kids. They came in third in the country. And that's what the book is about, why motivation is so important. You can change someone's entire life through just by this purposeful care and concern for other people. And the accounting industry, we are going to fire up the accounting industry because we have been gotten the crap beat out of us over the last 18 months, and people are hurting.
Yeah.
And they're not hurting money, right? Oh, and we do have a promote. So here's what you're going to do. So someone said, how do we get the book? Les, here's how you get the book, buddy. You go to dawnbrolin.com and you put in your email address and stuff, and you use the code APPY, 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 and you'll get a free digital copy if you be emailed right to you. So everybody,
that is awesome.
Everybody, but we are gonna help the accounting industry, and the accounting industry is hurting so bad. And I love my peers, and I literally talked to someone last week, and because my content manager was very concerned about her emotionally, like literally said, "Do you have someone with you?" It was that bad. And she called me last week. I called her immediately as soon as Gaynor told me, and I'm like, and her name's Dawn. And she's also 51. So we're like all even Steven. We're like so in the same thing. And I just said, girl, I'm not going to let this happen to you. You want to be an accountant because you love people and you want to help them. And I'm not going to let you give up. And so that's what's happening. A lot of people are just like, do I really want to do this the rest of my life? And I say yes. And we're not going to let circumstances beat us. And that's what the book we're coming out with is a Designated Motivator for accounting professionals. And we are going to help people push forward in this industry and be better than where they were 18 months ago. That's my goal.
You give me chills.
I know. I was like, okay, I need to get my hands on this book.
Right.
Go right
I
and
agree.
do it. I'm telling you, we've got to do this, Liz.
You know what my thing, okay, so you make me want to tear up and yet at the same time celebrate. So it's like this overwhelming feeling of like, I just went on a roller coaster with you. But I have to tell you, at the end of the year, whenever my peers and friends were starting to make their New Year's resolutions, I made mine. And mine was, I want to be at the end of 2021 Not at the same place that I was at the end of 2020, because I felt like 2020 was so out of control. And in our world, we were these rescue workers that over and over again, I felt like it wasn't ethically right for me to charge more whenever I knew that these businesses were struggling. So we took that upon our shoulders, which was painful. So I said at the end of 2020, those of you who remember and were at QuickBooks Connect and we did those little bracelets that had our word on it, I took that and I said, my word this year is intentional. I want to be intentional with the steps that I have. So at the end of this year, I am where I look and I go, I'm proud of that and I'm happy with that. And so I had a friend who actually got me my word. My dear friend. And so she got me my bracelet so that way I can wear my word of empowerment, that I don't end up accidentally at the end of a year going, man, this stinks.
Absolutely, Liz. And you know what? I'll tell you, between you and me, like meeting in the bathroom and taking our bathroom photos, which is always the highlight of my conference.
Selfie.
Liz, bathroom. But really, we owe it to each other to pick each other up.
Yes.
And that's it. And we're going to do that. And I'll tell you, that's one of the things about ADP. Honestly, like they're very similar, I'll say, to the culture of Intuit. They're givers. That every single person that I've ever encountered with ADP has been gracious, kind, and I really feel like I can depend on them. And that's important. We need to have that ability to do that, is to have a company that not only, so first of all, you can also revenue share, which, by the way, I'll tell you why revenue share is important. Okay. The revenue share is important because of this, exactly what Liz just said. We feel bad about charging our clients for things at certain times, right? Saying things like that. Revenue share is ADP saying, thank you for taking the notice, scanning it, and uploading it to your Accountant Connect portal. Because between us, ADP, and the client, that's a triangle of hope. We have to stick together. And so I just see that ADP is just there in my back pocket, and I'm not ashamed of taking revenue share. And I'll tell you why, because I do go over and above to help set them up. I don't charge them to get them all set up and send reports to ADP and stuff like that, because there's no value to them in that. But I'll tell you, that's just how we're rolling here with Brolin. We are setting ourselves up and our clients up for success. That's all. Okay, go ahead. Back to your demo.
Don, we needed that commercial last session too. And by the way, I wrote down Triangle of Hope, and I will be using that in the future. So
you got it, girl.
Coined by you.
Love it.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I think something, Heather, Liz, we were going to talk about the question mark. Don, you mentioned it before. This is amazing. And I know you guys, it sounds like y'all feel the same way. Emails, like I actually shut my email down because I can't look at it right now. There's like hundreds of them that I need to answer still. And like you said, when it comes to payroll service requests, this is a portal that you can log into and keep track of your requests, whether it be reports, notices. Like it's so nice because nothing gets lost in email. So I don't know if you guys have anything else to add, but just wanted to make sure y'all saw a visual of it.
Well, okay, I'm just taking over. Sorry, Heather. I feel like Jen and I are just having a conversation right now. It's just so totally cool. Well, so with a service request, what's going to happen after you upload that notice? You're going to see when you go back in, it'll list your service request. Do you have that? If you go to the service request, I'm not sure if you have any queued up, but it's okay if you don't.
Now my screen's freezing.
You are fine. Everyone close their eyes and visualize. Once that's submitted, there's a line that shows you, and it even says the title of whatever it was that you, like I always put in good titles. Why am I echoing? Okay, I don't know. And so it'll show you click in it, and then what's going to happen is an actual human being is going to type a message to you that says, we've submitted this, we're working on it, check back with us, blah, blah, blah. You'll get email notifications. It's just absolutely the greatest thing that I've seen in a payroll support system ever.
I love it. And for some reason, it's not letting me scroll my screen down. But yeah, so there is a request type here. Type in the title, description, attach your files. There's videos on how to do it as well if you want to see that aspect of it. If there are any questions related to it. And then the FAQs is also super helpful too, just in navigating it. And of course, like one of my favorites too is you've got this portal, but you also have the phone number to our accountant help desk team with the most tenured staff there to help navigate through whatever questions you guys have. So sometimes it's easy just to submit a case, like simple, done. But if you really do have a question and want to talk to somebody live, you also have the ability to do that, which is typically me. I'm like the queen of calling the help desks. And thank goodness ADP has a lot of them.
So
Absolutely.
Jen, do you think we can move on and talk about also the self onboarding?
Yes.
The new digital onboarding that I think I'm super excited to see that. And just so you know, I got my Accountant Connect back. So
Yay, yeah, good.
Yeah.
So I may pass it back to you after the client onboarding. So yes,
Okay.
this is
Perfect.
brand new. It's not embedded in the demo yet because it's able to be used in every state except for 4. And one of those states happens to be the great state of Ohio, which is where I'm out of, biggest pain in the neck when it comes to local taxes in relation to payroll. So we still are fine tuning 4 states, but it will be live here shortly. So definitely excited about that with them. But I'll show you a couple screenshots. That's what we have.
Okay.
But when you, sorry, go ahead. So adding a new client, starting a new client payroll is what you click. And what's really nice is it's super intuitive and it walks you through step by step exactly how to do it. When you're about to start, there's a couple of things that you need to check the box on. I'm a big checklist person too, but you need to make sure all employees are in the same state. They have one bank account for billing, payroll, taxes. No employees, again, I mentioned Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, DC yet. One payroll frequency and then no payrolls run so far this year. So there's that piece of it there. When you get started, these are the processes. So entering the information that you do have, once you get everything entered in, you'll send it to your clients to approve and sign off of, and then you're finished. So as long as you've got all the information listed here on the screen, you're good to go and you can really fly through every piece of this and get it over to your client's hands to sign off on. So we're gonna click Let's Go. And you're going to talk about your client here. So what's really cool, and I'm going to have to move your beautiful faces down so I can maneuver this right now. But you'll choose the payroll frequency, the number of employees, obviously the zip code here, simple. I'm going to keep it rolling. This is also great. So you get to choose your package. And here's where I definitely would recommend working with your local ADP rep that's able to come out to your office or do a virtual visit, however you'd like. But it definitely is going to be important to understand the payroll options. There's 4 different bundles we have. We have your basic essential payroll bundle, which is payroll, direct deposit. It does include all tax forms and filings. That's really great for, your one employee S corporation, or maybe a business that has 1 or 2, family members that doesn't need any more bells and whistles, if you will. Our most popular packages you guys can see is the enhanced bundle up here on the screen. And then we've got 2 different HR packages, and HR is near and dear to my heart, especially through the pandemic. Clients have so many questions, they need assistance. You guys have been the financial first responders. You can only do so much, and y'all didn't go to school you don't have an HR background necessarily. And some of you may be getting into that as part of the advisory services. We can help with that too, which we'll be talking about next week. But if they are interested in HR, need a handbook, want to do background checks, etc., we've got 2 different packages for them that you can choose there. So I will click next here. Again, most popular is in our enhanced package, which covers everything that we talked about in the essential bundle, plus SUI management, labor law posters, garnishment payments for those that have multiple employees. And then scrolling down here, you get to apply a discount too. So you can go up to 20%. If there's, a competitive situation that, you are in where you're pulling a client away from a competitor, we understand that sometimes you may need to tack on a discount to make it worthy to move over to ADP. And you're able to do that here as well without having to go through a live rep, which is nice. If you like your rep, you can continue working with them, of course, as well. And I will keep the screenshots going here. Couple things to note, our HR bundles are better fits for 3 employee companies or 5 employee companies. So you might have a couple flags that pop up there that you will navigate through. And then let me scroll down here. Go to the next screenshot here. And this is where you get into entering in the company name, the type. And on the left-hand side here, we would be here for an hour. So I know for purposes of time, I won't walk you through every aspect of it. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you're entering in all the information here. And then you submit to the client everything that you completed for them to review. And then as soon as they sign, send it back, you'll get a notification and you could submit it to ADP. And you receive an automatic email from us saying, hey, we've received your order. Here's the company code. And we communicate with you to let you know when that order is going to be ready to go and set up. And you also have access to it, of course, in Account Connect. So if you do want to process payroll for the client, you absolutely can. If you don't, I know, Liz, you're more hands off there. If you do want to at least onboard the client, you don't have to be somebody that presses the button, of course. Your clients can do that, but you still have access to their payroll detail. So I'll pause and let you ladies ask me any questions, or if you want to chime in on anything here, but I believe this is the first time you all are seeing this as well because it is so brand new.
Yeah. No, it is the first time, and I love the transparency of it. So you can go in and you can see the pricing right up front. That's pretty amazing. And then I'm guessing you go through and you just enter in the information, continue down the wizard, right?
Yeah, it's
this
a
is
wizard.
this is a great, and this is a great way, like you were saying, you have one or maybe even two employees, you just want to get it up and running and started. This is definitely the way to do it. But I want to just answer, Karen has asked a couple of questions. I wanted to just answer her. So for the export of the GL, so first of all, you will export your chart of accounts out of QuickBooks. That is correct, Karen.
Desktop, right?
This is all desktop only.
Yeah, this is all desktop. Yeah.
So you're going to export out of your chart of accounts, import it in when you were in that wizard there in that little GL setup section. And so you import the chart of accounts, and that's where if you do change the chart of accounts in QuickBooks Desktop, and it relates to payroll, you may want to import it again. You'll want to, if it applies. And then when you do the GL, because you've told ADP it's a desktop file, it knows that you're going to be doing an IIF. And so you'll go into that GL export area that you saw, and you'll export it. It will download an IIF file, which is your journal entry. And then you'll go to file, import that, and then it'll come in. And that's how we do it. I do it. I'm a little bit a risk taker. I'm sure you're surprised by that. I'm a little bit risky. I'm not risk averse at all. I choose, when I go to import the IIF file, I choose that I will fix the errors myself. It's like this little line at the bottom of the import, because I know what I'm looking for and I know what's going to be right or wrong. So I do that, but you may not. I mean, you probably could do that too, because you know accounting. The client's not so much. I just wanted to answer that for her because I know I made that maybe a little confusing earlier. So.
No, thank you. And then Heather, I will let you take over.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for showing that. I want to make sure we only have a few more minutes left. I wanted to make sure that we show all of our favorite analysis tools, and they can see all of the other really awesome benefits in Accountant Connect, so that we can get as many people, signed up and using these benefits as possible, because it's just such a gift to everybody. So I'm going to jump into the analysis tools. So the analysis tools gives you an insight of, are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes, we are.
Perfect.
So it gives you an insight into all of your clients. And so it's kind of an overview. You saw on the client detail page, which it's not called the client detail page, I'm calling it that, where you could see all of the different products that the individual client is subscribed to. But here you can see it across your entire client base. And what I love about this, and Dawn, I'm sure you're going to agree too, is that you can start to see where there's trends, where maybe there's an opportunity where a bunch of your clients don't have a particular service in their businesses, and it's like, okay, here's an opportunity that as a firm we can help them with. And so it just gives you really great oversight into what's going on. And what these little R's and W's are is basically what payroll product they're subscribed to, so you can see that across your entire client base. So love that. It's also telling you any new jurisdictions across your entire client base that have now been added to your account. So this is amazing, because now you're able to kind of look across all of the clients that you have payroll for and start to really get a handle on what action you need to take as a firm across your entire firm, which is just really valuable. So I love this. You can change the date over here. Really, really fantastic. Anything you would add to this, Dawn?
Well, I just love I would instantly pull that up. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll go in, if I got a new client who's signed up and I expected them to get set up with workers' comp, for instance, I want to make sure people are on the pay-as-you-go schedule, because I never want my contractors to pay this big chunk of 15 grand in August And they're just like, so this is a really great tool for me to know what they have followed through on and what they haven't. If I'm, suggesting retirement or I'm suggesting health insurance, whatever it may be, and I can go in and see, all right, hey, Mike, what are you doing? I told you need to set this up. Let's go. And so I can be a little more proactive with them. And they appreciate that. That's value add, big time.
Definitely. The next one I want to talk about is one that is one of my favorites. I don't know about you, but I get asked pretty regularly by my clients, what should I be paying that new employee I'm going to hire? Like almost every time I'm having a conversation about they're going to hire someone, they ask me that question. How do I find out what to pay them? What is the market rate? And it used to be like, oh, well, we can Google it, or I can go try and find something, on a website somewhere. Well, now I have it right inside Accountant Connect. So if a client asks me that question, I can go through and I can look at the different industries, the different revenue sizes, the employee sizes, the pay types, and what the actual job is. And I can actually print out a report based on the location. And now that we're in more of a remote world, this is so cool because you can have really great conversations with your client saying, does this person need to be on site? And if the answer is no, now you can go through and look at, well, where should we be looking for people based on the amount of budget that we have for this person's position, and figure out where it's going to be the most economical for your client to actually hire. So that can be some really valuable information. This could be a service that you offer, right? This could be an add-on advisory service that you're not currently offering to your clients and say, we do compensation benchmarking. I'd love to get you signed up for an engagement for that. And now it's become a new revenue line on, in your business. So love this. You do have to have, I think it's when you have 3 clients on your ADP Accountant Connect, you get this for free. So you just got to get 3 clients on it, and this is yours. Oh, is it 5 clients?
Oh, 5.
Yeah, 5 clients.
5 clients. Sorry, I misspoke. My bad. So 5 clients, and you get this for free. The other thing that we have are the industry reports, and the way I understood it is these are going to be added. They're going to continue to add, but there's quite a few here. So these are industry reports. We need these as accountants to understand our clients' industry and to be able to give them advisory services and be able to tell them what to benchmark against, and also give us insight, especially if it's a new client that we're bringing on and we're not familiar with their industry. It helps us to gain insight into that so we can support them better. So
man, that's great. I love these. I hadn't seen these before.
yeah.
And it's funny that dentists are there all by themselves. I don't know if y'all support a dentist, but that group of people are doing pretty well.
They're doing real well. Yeah.
Haven't seen a bad one yet.
And then finally, we have ADP is partnered with Biz Equity to offer business valuation services. So if you're not doing that, we don't do that, but now I can. Now I can, because I can partner with ADP and Biz Equity to make that an offering in my firm, and they're actually going to do it for me. So this is opportunity right here staring us in the face. This whole analysis tools section is opportunity staring you in the face, saying, here is how you're going to get additional services and additional, advisory opportunities with your clients. So I love this.
Well, one of my first things that I look at that when I first looked at that, I said, oh my goodness, guess what? The Accountant Connect users get their first valuation free. And guess whose business I want to value? My own.
Yours.
I was going to say that, Dawn, you beat me to it. We see that all the time.
100%.
Time.
Yes. Yeah,
I mean, listen, I'm succession planning, man. I'm 51. I'm coming down the hill. I want to be on my boat. I want to be doing stuff. And I want to know all this work I'm doing, is it worth it? And it really doesn't matter if you're somebody who does write-up work only, or you only do tax, or whatever it is that you only do, or you do a whole bunch of things. My whole thing is I want to make sure I can turnkey over my business when I'm ready to be done. And I can tell you with ADP, somebody buys Powerful Accounting Inc., and they keep that as like maybe a division of their company, and they take it over, they're going to continue to get my rev share. Like that, there's huge value in that. So you got to start forward thinking, and not so much about what you're poking on the keyboard today, but when you're not poking on the keyboard, you want to make sure that your hands are free for a cocktail if you need one, right, Liz? Or whatever you need, because you got all kinds of cake and money in your bank account. That's what I'm talking about.
Just quickly, we also have all these payroll calculators. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because we're actually a little over, but this is so good that you're all fine anyway. But this is all great stuff. So payroll, we did it twice, Liz. We went over talking about payroll twice.
Who knew payroll could be so amazing?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere now, right? Cocktail time.
Right?
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. So these are the different payroll calculators. They do exactly what we say, what they say they do. So you can explore those after you go sign up for Account Connect. The products and services are to help you learn more about the different services and products that ADP has available so that you can have these conversations with your client and you can answer their questions, right? So one of the big challenges that we have is our clients ask us questions, and we're an accounting firm and we're not ADP, but now we have these resources right here in Accountant Connect so we can actually be proactive and answer the questions ourselves.
I agree. And I would even say that, Heather, this is a good time for us to launch that last poll so that way we can make sure that our friends who need to jump off and maybe go to a different something have an opportunity to respond to, would they really like to be able to have some more information? Because we're having so much fun that they may have different questions and they may have, more in-depth, detailed things.
Definitely. And there's
Payroll.
a lot of people that do. So that was a good call. That was a good call. And yes, option 3 already using. Some people are telling
All right, Jim. Good man.
Nice.
Thank you. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't signed up, can we throw the URL for the sign up in the chat? Could somebody drop that in for everybody so that if you haven't signed up for Accountant Connect, that you can start, get it and start taking advantage of it. I'll just keep talking because I know we need to end soon, but we also have the ADP Marketplace, which are a whole suite. I think, how many apps do you guys have on Marketplace now?
Oh my goodness, hundreds, too many that I can't count anymore because they get added, it seems like by the week. But the whole motto is like, we don't say no. So we will integrate with pretty much every solution.
Oh, Nick just said over 250.
There we go. Thanks, Nick, coming in.
One of the coolest ones that I've seen is the Slack integration and the Teams integration. So that's one you can add on, and then you can your employees, if they're in Slack, they can actually ask, how much PTO do I have left? And it'll go out and it'll grab it and post it into the Slack channel. So it's really cool. It's like a bot. It's like an ADP bot.
Yeah, any HR resources too can be shared out.
Yeah. So the resources tab is another one of my favorites. This is the COVID-19 resources. So when you click on these, it's going to bring you out to the center where you can read articles. And then there's other articles and checklists and things like toolkits. So there's a lot of different options here for you.
And there's a big one right there, that processing employee retention credit with ADP. Yep. That's a big one. And do you care if I share, we talked about last week that if you needed to amend those 941s, that it was $150, and that is per company. So if you want to take advantage, or you have a client that actually qualifies for that employee retention credit, and you need to go back and amend those 941s, that's a lot of work. So it's $150 per company. So there might be several that you need to amend in order to make it sure that you take advantage of that.
Yeah, and we actually misspoke last week because we said it was per client or per per return, and it's not per return, it's per company. All right, so we also have the state payroll tax rates, and these are printable sheets that you can share with your clients. So if you want to be sending them, you get a new client and they're starting to do business in a new state, look how professional you're going to look.
So fancy.
So fancy. You have key facts. So these are facts and figures.
That one's a fan favorite right there.
I bet. Yeah. Like I'm drooling over it right now.
I know. The reference guides. So the reference guides are all in here, and there's a link out to that. The year-end checklist. Liz said earlier, we love our checklists. So we've got checklists. And then we've got tax forms. So this goes to the CCH, right? So if you go into the CCH tax resources, look at this. This is the tax resources where you can find the different forms, and it really, you have the master tax guide in here. So that book that we all get, the one we all get all year, we have it digital here and searchable.
Yes.
Nice.
I love it.
Pages. It's amazing.
So and then, we have more to come next week too.
We
So
do.
we want to share what's happening next week to make sure that our friends join us?
Yeah.
Because we could keep talking payroll all night.
I know, but all right. I hear you. I hear you. So we have part 3 next week, which is how to grow your practice with ADP's HR advisory tools. So you can register on our website. If you are already registered for all of the happy hours, you don't need to register again. You're going to get reminded. You can go ahead and sign up for ADP/accountant for ADP Accountant Connect, the partner program. If you haven't done that, do it. There's another great, I mean, I could talk whole nother hour about all of the features in ADP Accountant Connect, like the Life Mart. Like
I love
the
it.
Life
I'm so
Mart is
excited.
amazing.
That is
The Life
awesome.
Mart is, you get that for free, and what that is, it gives you discounts on practically everything, like
Mhm.
vacations, Disney
Well,
tickets. Like,
it's like
I know.
coupons. Like
All
what?
my coupons, the best.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
I feel like I guess you guys we're at the top of the hour, and I know we have to go. You go sign up, and then you're going to find out all these nuggets. There's marketing tools. There's the CCH free CPE that our team uses all the time. And you get a discounted rate. So if you
So
buy
true.
CPE, like there was a couple of courses in CCH that our team needed to take. And I think we got a 20% discount off of the cost
That's
of that
nice.
because of our partnership with ADP. So many goodies in there. Plus, I mean, even without the goodies, ADP service is just, it, like I said, we're moving everybody over to it
Outstanding.
because it's just better.
It's
just
just
is.
better. So let's advance to the next one because we want to talk about, what's coming. And then here, I'll just be
Here
quiet
it's
here.
coming. Help and hope, man. That's what we're going to push out there. Helping people streamline their business, get paid faster, meaning, like just kind of organizing your firm so that those things that you find that are stumbling you up, maybe try to free that up. And so this book is going to be fantastic. I'm so excited about it. I finally feel like I know what I'm doing with my life at 51. Like I'm just got to be out there and motivating the accounting professional to help them improve their practice in whatever capacity that is. And for me, it's all about a starting lineup and having your starting lineup that may be different than my starting lineup, but you need to have one and you need to know who your players are because it's all about sports. Got to know who your players are. And then get your people the right positions, the right players in the right position so that your firm can thrive and be better than you were through this COVID pandemic. And so, things are going to happen that we can't control, but the one thing we can control is how we react to it. And the way I want to react to it is to make my practice better. And right now, my only mission in my life, besides my family, is to help the accounting professionals in my industry. Because yes, we were emergency workers over this last year and a half, and we may not have been saving lives but we were actually saving lives because people were losing their businesses. And I had more crying people in the last year and a half than I've ever had. And you know what? I cried with them. And so I'm on a mission. If you're crying and you're struggling out there, please contact me. Dawn at Powerful Accounting is my email. At Dawn Brolin's my Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn, all this other stuff. Reach out to me because I will not let you fall. I will grab you by wherever I got to grab you, and I will pull you up out of that water and off that cliff and make sure that you survive because you help so many people, and I want to help you with whatever it is you need. And it doesn't even matter what it's for. If you're playing slow pitch softball and you're striking out, you need some tips, making sure you keep your hips in there, whatever it may be. That's what I'm here for. So I just love I love all of you. I just do.
And we love you, Dawn. I mean, you're going to make me cry.
I
love
know.
it.
I know.
Like all that love coming
need
out,
more
pouring
Dawn.
out of you. Like, I just want to harness it all. And
I have goosebumps. I
know, me too.
I don't say anything. I just hope people understand something. I don't say anything that I don't mean. I'm not just going to blow smoke up anybody's butt. Okay. I'm going to tell it how it is. And I'm so passionate about this that I just feel like I can fly. There's a song like that. I'm not going to sing for you guys, but we are going to, yes, I'm putting all my hips and I'm ready to hit that ball. And if anyone's going to engage, I want to see you because I'm going. And you know why I'm going to engage? Because I got to wrap my arms around some people because I'm like, I got to. So I will see you there if you're going to be there. And I will be at Scaling New Heights as well. We are going to, yes, absolutely. I'm going to go where my people are.
Right.
Love
Yay.
it.
Oh, yes.
We will
Oh,
find
girl, we
you.
got to meet in the bathroom. Come on.
I want to go to the bathroom too now. I'm like,
Oh, man.
I want
You
to come
can
to the
come in. We
bathroom
can have
too.
it
But I
for
don't want to,
you.
I also don't want to, I'm coming to the bathroom.
And just so you know, Elizabeth, Engage is the AI CPA's conference. It's at the end of July. It's in Vegas, but it's their annual conference, just so you know what that is.
Awesome. So next week on the 21st, we're going to do how to grow your practice, the ADP's HR advisory tool. So I'll be back together again. And then on July 27th, we're going to have Corpay, which was formerly Roger AI, on. And then on August 10th, we're going to have a special guest, Dan Luthi. If you guys know Dan Luthi, he's going to come on and talk about Divvy payments. And then at the end of August, we're going to do a Dex deep dive, which I'm excited about as well. So we have lots of great stuff coming. Oh my gosh, what an episode. I'm like, what an episode.
So much fun. I'm sad I'm going to be missing next week, ladies. I'll tune in though.
You'll have to come in anyway. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Don.
Yes, thank you so much for having me
you guys.
on. Don, it was so good to
Oh,
see you.
Jen.
Such good vibes. I'm like really motivated.
I
Let's
know.
go. I love all you guys. And Heather and Liz, thank you so much for what you guys do for everybody, because you've set the bar on just helping people in our industry. And I just want to thank you from everybody. Yeah, I love you guys. You're a great combo.
We love you back.
Well, we do, and that means a lot because we give
I know
our
you
heart and
do.
soul to a lot of things
I
we
know you do.
So
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, we love our people. We
We do.
love
Yes.
our community.
Yeah,
And
every
it's like you
single one
said,
of
we want to see them thrive. And there's so much opportunity out there, but sometimes you have to reach
You
for
do.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have this little thing. I used to
Love
have
that.
it behind my desk, and it says, if your ship hasn't come in, swim out to it.
Okay.
Ah, I like
I
that.
feel like, we can all help each other do that. Right. And it goes with
Yes,
your
we
life
can.
preserver, Don. Right.
It's a
Community, absolutely. That's what
All
we're
right,
here for.
everybody.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Let's cheers to water.
Bye.
See y'all.
All right, bye everyone.